So I don't teach and I do not get funded directly through the University of Michigan. But they are trying to unionize the graduate student research assistants.
And it's a union Melinda Day wishes to have no part of. The fifth-year graduate research assistant says she got a taste of this union during a 2-year stint as a student instructor. Graduate student instructors and graduate student staff assistants have been unionized at the University of Michigan since 1975.
The way I look at it is a group of students in the 1970s got a vote. They got to choose who was going to represent them, and then took that choice and that freedom and that right away from every future student. And now we are forced to be represented by the Graduate Employees Organization, whether we like it or not.
And now, due to a 6-2 vote by the Board of Regents back in May, the union got the go-ahead to try to expand its pool of dues-paying members to all graduate students, not just instructors. Melinda says this would only hurt the university's prestigious research capabilities.
Because this is a huge Pandora's box that they have opened. And if a portion of your stipend is now going to have to go pay for a union, there's less likely they're going to come here because other schools won't have that requirement. And it also has the potential of interfering with the actual ability of a student to obtain their dissertation and obtain their degree, because you're going to have a union be placed between the student and their faculty mentor.
Melinda says the union would have no power over her wages because her stipend is through a federal grant. However, the union has pushed for and gotten some interesting benefits.
For example, would be the fact that I can get a sex change operation, but I can't go and visit a chiropractor and have that covered. And another thing that they always push for is an increase in mental health visits, but not better dental or vision coverage. They push for all these things that really are kind of outside the purview of just the simple wage, healthcare, tuition issues that would be more germane to the entirety of the student population.
The union also wants greater control to negotiate work hours. For a student like Melinda, who spends evenings and weekends in the life sciences laboratory, it's possible union involvement could jeopardize her dissertation.
That's going to hinder our ability to do science because cells don't know that it's 9 to 5. Cells don't know when it's the weekend. And basic science research requires the ability to be flexible and when you can come in and out to do experiments.
Melinda says benefits and working hours aside, the fact that she's a student and not an employee means she should not be eligible for any union membership.
And everything I do is geared towards making me out to be a better researcher, which is the whole point of my degree program, which is the whole point of my studies. So I am constantly a student.
And you have a card to prove it.
And I have a card to prove it. The U of M regents like to say that their handbook dictates graduate student research assistants as employees, but the U of M card office insists that we are students.
Mackinac Center Legal Foundation Director Patrick Wright says this is the crux of Melinda's case, and this is why he's taking legal action.
The Public Employment Relations Act only covers people who are public employees, and the agency in charge of determining this in 1981 has already said that these types of graduate students aren't public employees. Moreover, it's very clear that these are people who are getting their degree, who are here for their dissertation, for their PhD, and they're here to learn. They're not here to have permanent employment. This is something they're trying to further their education with, and they come out of it with a degree. And so that's the principal reason, and that's why they're not employees.
Wright says if something isn't done now, the implications for higher education and taxpayers could be disastrous.
This is hundreds of thousands of dollars that's being taken from federal research grants and given to a union just for political purposes that serves no actual need or benefit to the students who are being unionized. Again, these people aren't employees. These are just students, and they'd be having money that is from a program meant to help them in their studies being skimmed, and it's just a money grab.
In the meantime, Melinda has a message for the regents who voted to allow the union to move forward.
I would request and ask them to rescind their votes. It really is an intrusion. I'd like to tell them that they're intruding for political motives on what is basically a sacrosanct relationship between me and my mentor. And I really don't appreciate that. I can't let this go by without trying to stand up for what is right. And in this case, we have a situation in which liberty is being lost, and I can't just stand by and let it happen.